Yay Networks.
Welcome back to In the Cards and Stars. I'm your host, Britt Madrid Mogensen, and today we are talking about Taurus season because Taurus season has changed the vibe on us yet again, and you guys need to know what that means for your rising sign and how to use the energy of this season so you can make the most of it. Okay, so Taurus season every year is between April 20th and May 20th. And what that means is that the sun enters the zodiac sign of Taurus. So everybody feels this surge of groundedness, growth, stability. We all start to shift from that Aries season energy we were just in, where we were excited about new things, trying something different. That was fire sign energy. And a fire sign season is really exciting and fun, but we can get fatigued, right? A flame can burn out. So in order to keep that flame alive, Taurus season comes in to say, all right, that was exciting. Now let's look at all the plans that you made during Aries season and let's give you the grounded stability that Taurus season is known for so that that flame never burns out, so that it keeps burning throughout all 12 zodiac sign seasons. We get to look at what we were excited about, what we decided to get into, and now it's kind of time to get down to business. But it's very good because Taurus is ruled by Venus. So it's not all work and no play. Venus energy brings us this craving for luxury. So you may want to do a little bit of self-care. It doesn't really matter how much you want to spend as long as you lean in to that sensual side of Taurus energy while you're working hard. Taurus naturally rules the second house in the zodiac, which means that our second house is highlighted in our own personal birth charts. So if you want to pull up your handy chart and see just how this is going to affect your focus, pull it up. Make sure you click that whole sign houses thing that we always talk about on this podcast and look at your second house. Which zodiac sign rules your second house? This is a time to really get to know that energy and to focus on it a little bit more. So for me, I'll use myself as an example. I have Pisces as the ruler of my second house, which means that when I am doing Taurus energy things of the second house nature, which is like making money, understanding my value and self-worth, what I bring to the table, that's all Pisces energy for me. So the more I lean into that Pisces side of myself, allow myself to be creative and to add structure to the creativity, kind of marry the Taurus and Pisces energy, I find success, stability, and self-worth. So for you, check that placement. What is it for you? If it's Aries, for you, you can say, okay, well, I make money when I'm doing Aries things, when I'm in Aries energy. Maybe you're an entrepreneur. So how can you bring the Taurus energy of stability to that part of your life, to your desire to make money and to add worth to the world? Okay, then the second thing I want you to check in your birth chart, same thing, whole sign houses, scroll to the bottom. Now, which area of your chart is ruled by Taurus? Which house is ruled by Taurus? So I'll use myself as an example again. For me, it's the fourth house. So that means my fourth house is going to have a lot of activity. So the area ruled by Taurus is what's going to be affected by outside forces. The area that I just talked about of your second house, that's coming from inside. That's more like internal. So that's like your focus. And then it's kind of like, whether you like it or not, the area of your house or the house that is ruled by Taurus. So for me, it'd be fourth house. That's where you're going to have energy, things happening to you from the outside world. Now, we actually have a great Taurus season ahead. So you can expect a lot of abundance in the Taurus area that is in your birth chart. Okay, so let's talk about for all the zodiac signs. So overall, listen for your rising sign, listen a little bit for your sun sign too, but I've really gotten into the rising sign because I feel like it's so accurate with predicting the future. And that's what we're going to do here. All right. So if you have a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn rising, you are an earth, you have the earth sign energy. And during this time, you are really going to feel good. This is your season, essentially. Like if you're an earth sign rising, especially, you're going to be like, okay, I feel like I'm in my element. Maybe last season was a little bit fast. Maybe your head's still spinning. Well, that's okay because now this is your time. So you get to focus on the things that you love, which are, material possessions, pleasure, the finer things in life, and going after those things. So Virgos, you're going to be organizing, simplifying your life, which is just kind of what you do anyway. Capricorn, you love making money. Let's just be honest. You love to achieve something, you love to win. And during Taurus season, you're going to be encouraged to do that. So you get to really lean into that drive to reach your long term goals. So get into it. And then Taurus, last but not least, this is your season. So you really can just do whatever you want and things are going to be going great for you. It's your return, it's your birthday time of year. So just do what you naturally love to do and watch the universe meet you where you're at. Get out of the box a little bit and go for it. Okay, fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. For you guys, you might get a little bit frustrated during Taurus season. I'm going to be honest with you because you can use that frustration, especially a fire sign. If you have a fire rising sign, then you know that tension only makes you work harder. It only pushes you forward, So make sure that as you feel a little bit of tension during this season, if you feel bored or slowed down, switch that in your mind and be like, okay, how can I use this frustration? How can I fix these things? What is it about the Taurus zodiac sign energy that I can integrate into the way I'm approaching this thing that's frustrating me? Just watch you like knock it out. There's this opportunity to focus on practical matters that you may have neglected. You guys love to start a new project, you love to be in the spotlight. But right now, allow yourself just during this time to go a little behind the scenes, dig into your bank account, do the things that maybe you've been putting off because this is the time to do that. Your life's going to be a little more quiet. And that's not for you to sit around and feel bored. That's for you to be like, okay, I'm going to go do the things that I don't always do. And as annoying as it might sound, you're going to really feel good, grounded, and stable when you're done. And then next season in Gemini season, you're just going to be like back to your old ways. You're going to love it. So give yourself the gift of focusing on the boring things to make your life more stable. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So you guys are going to feel more grounded, which you don't like, kind of like the fire signs, you don't love that, but you need it. It's kind of like this is, you might not get what you want, but you're going to get what you need, and then it's going to feel good. So allow yourself to focus more on your physical needs. Air signs can get a little bit up in their heads. This is me. I have an air sign rising, Aquarius rising. So like, we get a little more in our heads. We can be thinking about ideas and always wanting to explore new frontiers. And during Taurus season, it's like, okay, how can I take those ideas and bring them down to earth? How can I ground them in the Taurus habits of, creating more stability, of follow through, dedication. And again, just like those fire signs, you may resist it at first, but once you get going with it, notice how much better you feel and then how much more freedom you will have to pursue that air sign inspo. Okay, and last but not least, our lovely water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You guys will feel more comfortable during Taurus season because as water signs, you're very emotional. And so when your emotions are flowing, having a grounded earth energy makes you feel very safe and held. And like you can experience your emotions without worrying that they're going to, kind of take you off your course or distract you. So this is a really good time to focus on that grounded energy and take practical steps in your life. Listen to your emotions and let them inform those practical steps. So if you're feeling emotional about, let's say, something going on in your personal life, get grounded and say, okay, how can I fix this? Like, what could I do? What are the practical steps I can take now to help resolve that emotional turmoil I'm feeling? And again, watch how much better you feel and watch how much more stable you feel when you emerge out of Taurus season. Let's talk about style because who doesn't love fashion, style, feeling your best? And if you're not someone that normally gravitates towards that, notice that you might be feeling a little more into looking luxurious, spending a little more time on your aesthetic because again, the atmosphere is more Venus energy right now. So if you are like wanting to lean in to the Taurus energy and you want to give yourself a boost aesthetically, dressing like a Taurus or even just incorporating some Taurus colors or elements into your wardrobe, you're going to stand out, you're going to shine a little brighter. So let's talk about what we can do. Comfortable, chic, clean lines, these are all associated with Taurus style. While Taurus is an earth sign, so they are going to always gravitate towards a little bit more of a practical look. Because Taurus is ruled by Venus, they're going to be the most like flashy, delicate, maybe like kind of feminine dressing of the earth signs. So colors like pink and green are really lucky for Taurus and during Taurus season. That's why I'm wearing pink right now if you guys are watching the video. Also, allowing yourself to play around with patterns that are more feminine or reflect more of nature. Taurus is also associated with nature and growth, like new growth, abundance. So you can channel that energy into your life by wearing patterns like butterflies or florals. Even if you're not someone that naturally wears them, notice that you'll feel a little bit refreshed when you put those on. So those can be really fun ideas. And then also Taurus, because there is this holding themselves to kind of a standard of like structure, incorporating structured pieces into your wardrobe can feel really grounding and good at this time. So think about throwing on like an oversized blazer or maybe some pants that are like tailored to perfection that just fit you so nicely and bring out your natural assets. The other thing about Taurus is that while it's associated with money, it's also associated with what we value. So it's like values in a broader sense as well. So it's like focusing on your self worth, um, and not dressing in style, not dressing so that you can fit like an aesthetic. Sorry, guys. So that you can fit in Mercury retrograde, so that you can fit an aesthetic that's outside of yourself. It's more about dressing in a way that like boosts your self esteem and makes you feel good. So make sure that you're like giving yourself a lot of like positive self talk, positive affirmations, because those can really take root during Taurus season. This is the time to get really clear about your values and what you value. And that also is aesthetically. So organize that closet, let yourself dress a little bit glossy, and yeah, enjoy. Okay, when we come back after this break, we're going to talk about some Taurus celebrities. In the Cards and Stars is sponsored by BetterHelp. So I was telling you guys about the stability and the structure that Taurus season brings, especially for our water signs who are so loving and have all the feels. But we all have water somewhere in our charts. And if you are looking for a way to bring a little bit more of that, even if it's like self-worth, working on self-esteem or working through problems and emotions that maybe you've pushed down. We all do that, right? We get busy, hey, we're in Aries season. We're like, I don't want to think about my feelings right now. I have things to do. It's time to go. Well, Taurus season is a really good time to slow down and allow yourself to take care of you, take care of your feelings, your emotions, to take that stuff seriously. And I find that whenever we do that, don't we just feel so much better? So, BetterHelp is something that I highly recommend using, exploring, seeing if it works for you. I have learned a lot about myself through working with BetterHelp. For me, it's definitely about self confidence and self esteem. Now, that might sound funny. Like a lot of people are probably thinking, like, well, but it seems like you have self esteem problems because you're always like putting yourself out there and doing things like podcasts and TV. And the truth is, you guys, I have had to work through self esteem issues and things, insecurities, things from childhood. We all have a few scars and bumps that we pick up along the way. And I have noticed that talking to somebody about those things and coming up with solutions and maybe looking at, I've looked at different things that I've done or biases that I've had that are like, just more negative that aren't true anymore, things that I don't even need to worry about in the present moment. And BetterHelp has been really great for helping me to work through that stuff. So it's been beneficial for me, something that I always recommend to my friends, to people I care about, to you guys. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Discover your potential with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/BritPod today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/BRITPOD. Best of luck and give yourself all that love during Taurus season. It's no surprise that there are many celebrities that have Taurus as their sun sign, especially singers, because Taurus actually rules the throat. But more than that, a lot of Taurus people do find themselves in the spotlight, whether they're celebrities or it's just like in their daily life, because there is a very sensual, beautiful quality that Taurus people have. And these celebrities, I think, really help us to see that they're great examples. So here are some Taurus sun signs that I'm sure you'll be able to see that sensual. I also like to say lush because there is like a certain lush, like ampleness to them, whether it's like the perfect hourglass shape or they have full lips. There's something about them that just feels very like, I don't know, like, mwah. You'll see. First, we have Adele. Adele was born on May 5th, making her a Taurus sun who obviously is in touch with her Taurus throat energy, stunning voice, but also being born on the 5th. Another thing when it comes to, you guys, side note, when it comes to people's birthdays, I've had people ask me before and DM me like, why am I'm a Taurus, but why am I different than my friend who's a Taurus? Like we're not very alike. Well, if you look at the day someone was born, you can see the energy of their specific personality that is then married with their zodiac sun sign when it comes to like just meeting them, talking to them, their ego in the world. So for Adele, being born on May 5th, 5 is the energy of freedom and it's like the five senses. So she is like the most sensual Taurusy of Taurus people. And if you look at any of her photos where she's like done up, she has like the big lush hair, the beautiful lips. She dresses for her body. She feels good in her clothes. Like she's like such a Taurus 5 energy. So 5 senses for her. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Okay. Let's say he's lush with his muscles. He has huge muscles, very Taurus energy. Taurus is the bull. They're also stubborn and like they go after what they want. The Rock, enough said, such a Taurus vibe. And he was born on May 2nd. So, fun fact, he actually is somebody who does really well with partnership. So, that 2 energy. People who are born on the 2nd have this need to like nurture and protect their partners, even if they keep it a little more secret. I know that it took him a while to like really put his relationship in the spotlight with his now, I think, wife, Lauren Hashian, I believe that's how you say her name. But anyway, yeah, they're very protective. So, he's going to be a little bit more protective of his other significant other. Okay, George Clooney. With him, I don't see a lot of the lushness, but I will say if you look at some of his old photos, his hair was very lush. And he was born on the 6th. So the 6th is like, more of an authoritative type of vibe. And I think he definitely has that. People kind of look at him as like a zaddy, And then David Beckham, May 2nd, Channing Tatum, April 26th. Channing Tatum, so funny. I don't know why he just cracks me up, but he definitely has the Taurus look of like the bull. If you look at one of his photos, you just see it like full lips, kind of that same energy of just being sturdy, stable, and he loves to dance. So, that sensual vibe. And then Megan Fox, born on May 16th. We're going to do a tarot tea time reading on her because it is her birthday season and her maybe or maybe not significant other, Machine Gun Kelly. So we're going to check into their relationship. But she was born on the 16th. So she has a 7 energy personality, which I think explains why she comes across as so deep and serious. People who are born on the 7th or with a number birthday that adds up to 7 for her May 16th, like, they're like very deep and scholarly almost. So I think people are very surprised when they hear about her interest in astrology or like how much she knows about like philosophy and different things that she's interested in. Yeah. So she definitely is a Taurus that dances to the beat of her own drum. But we can also see her love of luxury. She always has like a beautiful like outfit on. I love her wigs. Like she really changes it up with her hair. And you can tell she puts a lot of time and energy into those aesthetics, which is all very Taurus. Last but not least, we have Gigi Hadid. To me, she looks like a classic Taurus. We're on April 23rd. She has that same energy of Adele, that 5 energy Taurus. So sensual. I think that's why the camera just loves her. Yeah, she has that beautiful like thick hair. And you kind of see like the face of a Taurus aesthetically, it tends to be very like symmetrical because that Venus influence. Anyway, pretty fun. Love all the Taurus people, you guys. I hope you have an amazing season. And for the rest of us, let's try to embrace adding more stability to our lives, getting on a schedule, and really just trying to up our game when it comes to that Taurus energy. Let's be more grounded. We've got this. All right, let's talk about Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. For Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly, both Taurus sun sign people, it's interesting when you see 2 Taurus people get into a relationship. I have noticed that it can go one of 2 ways, and sometimes it goes both ways. So they either really get along well because they see eye to eye, and Taurus is known to be, some people say stubborn, some people just say they know exactly what they want and they've really thought it through. So they're just true to themselves. however you look at it, they definitely have a defined sense of what they want in life and what their standards are. And when you get two of them together, that can either gel and be like fantastic. So, like, I agree, let's do this, we're a great team. Or it can be like two bulls locking horns, which is just like, a nightmare, right? Who wants that in a relationship? So, and then, the third scenario, it can be like we get along. We really are just like on the same page. We're a team, dynamic duo, which can then devolve into like later once they get to know each other, like, oh, actually, we don't have the same values and we both are really strong in our separate values. So now we're just like clashing all the time. And a lot of what we've heard Megan Fox say in the press about their relationship, she's talked about how they've been in therapy for a long time. There was one quote where she said, I think she's talking to Entertainment Tonight, and she said, yeah, our relationship is a series of us breaking each other down, and we're in therapy to learn how to also build each other up. And a lot of people don't have those tools. And I was like, okay, awesome. True. Definitely think an intimate relationship is about stripping yourself down, stripping your ego away, being able to look at your wounds and all of that. But at the same time, I don't know if it always needs to be that difficult, right? It just seems like it's a lot for both of them. It's very intense. So as of now, last time I checked, Megan Fox still has her Instagram pulled down. There was that whole debacle where she started following like Machine Gun Kelly's mortal enemies. There's that stubbornness of the bull. Do not mess with the bull, you guys. You will get the horns with the Taurus. And so last we heard, they're just kind of under the radar. Like, we don't really know what's going on. We don't know what's up with them. So let's do a tarot tea time reading and see if the cards can clarify what's going on with these two Taurus lovers. All right, so let's get the energy of the past first. Ooh, right out of the gate, you guys, 8 of Cups in the past, walking away. Ouch. But yeah, that confirms it, right? So they were definitely walking away from each other in the press. We've seen so much about, how they were breaking up and how there was cheating rumors, all that. So something happened. They walked away from each other. That was the past. Let's see the present. Or someone walked away. Everyone thinks it was Megan Fox. I kind of agree with that. Ooh, in the present, the strength card. And if you'll notice on the strength card, there's usually an infinity symbol, which is like, ooh, strength that is like enduring. So I would say right now they're definitely back together. But because we have the strength card, it's still not easy. So I would say they're still in that process of the building up and learning to build each other up and all of that. But this does seem to be enduring, at least in the present. Let's see what the future holds. What about the next 6 months for these two? The Emperor. Okay. Don't love this in the future placement because the Emperor is about power. It's about ego. It's about control. So this is not ever a great card to see in a relationship reading. I do not like this. This is like power dynamics. So I don't know, you guys. It doesn't look good in the future. Yeah, that's not good. So we see power plays and difficulty there. Could be their teams getting involved. I don't know. But let's see her energy. What's her energy at this time towards Machine Gun Kelly? Ooh, 8 of Swords. Okay, so a lot of stress. Now, the thing about the 8 of Swords, though, that I always like to note is that 8 of Swords is really about like kind of self-created stress. And like, it's kind of like ruminating, overthinking about things that might not be there, might not even be real. So she's definitely kind of got herself into this place of anxiety. Let's see how he feels. Because at this time, if they are represented by the strength card, she doesn't really have anything to worry about now. Like, I think that, they're in a good place now where she can have trust and have faith in the relationship, but she's still struggling. Let's see with him. The Chariot, wanting to move forward. Okay, so I would say the way I'm going to read this overall, there was a breakup. There was a wake-up call for Machine Gun Kelly, which I think kind of reeled him back in. They have that strength card, so they are both trying and they're both in it, and they want their relationship to be enduring with that infinity symbol. And she's still worried because she probably was hurt by things that happened in the past that caused the breakup. And he really wants to move forward and is dedicated with that Chariot. So, you know what? We're going to wish them the best. I think that kind of lines up and it makes sense that they're not putting that out in the press. So, yeah, hopefully we wish them the best. You guys, we want them to find love. And that's it for this week's episode of In the Cards and Stars. Be sure that you subscribe, turn on that notification so you don't miss a week. And you can also watch these videos on YouTube, on the Brit Madrid YouTube channel, and follow In the Cards and Stars on Instagram. All right, you guys, happy Taurus season, and I'll see you soon.